Hello again. So this video, I've talked about how 99% of the transgenders are fakers, and they are. Um, and I've alluded on several of the times, mentioning what kind of people these fakers are by looking at them properly to analyze behavior and this and say, okay, what is your behaviors list you as? I'm going to go through some of them, what I believe are the vast majority. A quick recap on what transgender actually is if you get the Bible, the mental health Bible, the book of all the diseases, the mental illnesses, and everything for mental health, it's the DSM, there's gender dysphoria, okay? And the treatment for adults with gender dysphoria is to do transitioning, safe, friendly transitioning. And this is a pain reliever, okay? And it is the key to the difference between the two. It's not the treatment for children, preteen, and prepubescent, and then the tweens and teens. They have different treatments, okay? For gender dysphoria, it's the internal struggle. It is not anything about attention seeking, I think I'm a woman, all that other good stuff, okay? None of that is transgender, okay? That's all the fakery, all right? I go into ways of finding out the fakes. You can figure it out. But basically, it's the internal struggle. They cannot be delusional and think that they are the opposite sex, because that is actually what causes the problem. So if they think they're the opposite sex, or they claim to be the opposite sex, then by definition, you can't be it. It's like jumping up and down and waving your arms and claiming to be quadriplegic. By definition of what you're doing, that's not quadriplegic. And if you're going to Congress and demanding stairs for quadriplegic people, you're demanding the exact opposite of what they would want. And that's what most of these people are doing, is they're asking for the opposite of what gender dysphoria really want. A gender dysphoria person doesn't care about what anybody else thinks. They are OCD on, my brain says I should be female, and I look down and there's a thingy and I'm male. The reality doesn't match what my brain says I should be. Okay, it's a mental illness. The body is not bad. There's nothing wrong with the body. It's a mental illness. The illness is bad. You don't want this. I don't want to have PTSD, but I've got it. It ruins my life. Okay, bipolar ruins your life. All these mental illnesses ruins people's life. Don't want these things. And you sure in the heck don't want to encourage these things in a child. Because having gender dysphoria is kind of like bipolar, in that bipolar is only really diagnosed once you hit 21 to 26, when your brain has matured. It's finalized its architecture. It's set this way, and you're this way for the rest of your life. You get new memories and learn things, but the architecture itself has matured, and this is the way your brain is. All of your basic instincts from biology that have been put into motion through the testosterone and all the rest of those things, okay, as an animal, all of that is biological. Gender dysphoria is always, and I haven't found one reference in the DSM to any kind of biological connection. It is entirely environmentally created. Okay, which means either some event happened in that child's life, or they were abused, causes it. Okay, and I can give you the example. My daughter. I was in the military, gone a lot. My son was basically ostracized by my wife because he was a boy, and she took out all her anger on him, and she coddled our daughter to the point where he thought the only way he could get mommy's love was to be a girl. So yeah, she abused the hell out of him until finally, I'm home, and it's like, okay, I never knew any of that was going on. I swear to God, if I could have wrung her neck, I would have. All the counseling sessions we've done with her have always come down. It's been the abuse caused by that caused her to be gender dysphoric. Everywhere in the book, it says it's always pointing to this, it points to that, it points to these type of things. If mommy is out there telling the kid to be gender dysphoric, they're abusing their child. This goes beyond saying you shouldn't be doing transitioning as a child, okay, because that's not the treatment approved in the DSM for children. It's not until you're an adult as a pain reliever, okay? I analogize it like pot. It's a medical use pot, and transvestites are the recreational users of cross-dressing. This is for pain relief once you don't have a way out. If you're a teen or a child, you have all the ways out. And you're telling me that you would not sit there and try to raise your child to not have bipolar? Oh, you're going to give them bipolar. Oh, you're going to give them a split personality. Remember the movie Raising Kate? There's a lot of movies on all of this different stuff. You know? They intentionally give the child traumas so that they can create this. Every time we turn around, it turns into a mental illness. This one is caused by abuse. So if you're doing this to your child, you're abusing your child. It's not just about saying you shouldn't transition them, because it's not the prescribed therapy. It's not just about, you're teasing your own child into hating their own body. Okay? That's insane. Okay? This is criminal. And I want to make this absolutely clear. These parents have, and it's one of the people who've taken over this thing, Munchausen's by proxy. Okay? Sorry, I had to pause. Family emergency. We had just gotten to Munchausen's by proxy. If you are a parent and you are trying to raise your child with this, okay, and then you're sitting there and saying, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and have medical transformity done and genital mutilation done to your child, you might as well be saying, oh, being a paraplegic or a quadriplegic is awesome. Let's chop off my child's arms and legs. That's what you're doing, okay? You are intentionally inflicting a mental illness, okay? When nothing is wrong with the body, you are creating a mental illness and you are inflicting it on your child. That is criminal, and yes, the parents should be arrested for this, okay? If your child is showing symptoms of this, the proper treatment for the young child is through counseling and other measures that would explain to them that, you know what? Granted, you're in a girl's body, but all your brothers are boys and you've been competing with them and now you're a tomboy. Got it. It's okay. But you know what? You can still wear a dress and be happy that you're a girl. You can do all kinds of boy things and be happy that you're a girl. See, that's breaking down gender barrier to say it's okay that your body is one thing, but you can do anything in the world. That's great. You want to do that? You want to have your kid be a bricklayer, or you want your boy to be a nurse, or you want your whatever is based on traditionally what women would go for, or traditionally what men would go for. I don't care. Okay? But they should be happy with the body that they have, because there is no going back. That's what it is. Okay, back again. Which is actually a good breaking point in and of itself. I'm going to try to break this down into bite-sized little pieces so everybody can understand each one of these and they can go to each one or reference each one separately. I don't want to drag this on for like some 4-hour TED Talk. The simplest issue is that for gender dysphoria, when you are younger, you're showing signs of gender dysphoria, okay? You should not be getting diagnosed as gender dysphoric, okay? And when you do these things, and your parents or even a teacher sometimes could be doing this because they like the idea of saying, oh, I've got all these students who are gender dysphoric. I don't necessarily quantify them as Munchausen's by proxy, but it could be. And we'll go into what the other fakers are. But if you are, in essence, intentionally traumatizing a child, confusing a child to end up with a mental illness. You're giving them an illness. This is Munchausen's by proxy. Okay, now you can actually have multiple issues. You could be schizophrenic and Munchausen's by proxy. So we'll get into those. And again, get them to a doctor. But Munchausen's by proxy is criminal. You are abusing these children. Okay, the proper treatment for people who are under 26 or under 25 whose brains have not fully matured, they have a way out. Okay, and I don't think any rational parent would purposefully want their child to have an illness that destroys their life if they really cared about them. And the way that our laws work, it is criminal. All right, these people need to be reported. They need to be arrested, and that's what needs to be done with them. So if you're a parent out there doing this to your kid, you need to correct yourself real quick. All right, because it's coming down. The stuff in Tennessee, the stuff in all these other states, people have had it. And they don't like watching you abuse kids. All right, see you next time for another topic of which faker are they?